Hey guys, welcome back to another Lore Olympus discussion. I am Dazzling Kate, and welcome to my channel for those who are new here. Anyways, let's get into today's topic of today. Okay, so it's been a while since I've talked about any character's relationship, and I figured Thanatos and Daphne's relationship had to be talked about for a couple of reasons. Lately, I've recently with the series, it just kind of feels with Thanatos's and Daphne's relationship. And the main reason why I say that is because the majority of the time I keep seeing very similar concepts and ideas of a relationship identical to Hades and Persephone's relationship, and Thanatos and Daphne's relationship literally feels like another Hades and Persephone relationship based off of not just how they look, but how they are dealing with each other. And yes, there has not been too much explored with their characters, and it just really feels weird considering that the whole situation between Persephone and Apollo is there, and then you have the same thing going on with Apollo and Daphne, which it makes more sense to focus on Apollo and Daphne because that's an actual that's an actual myth of what happened. There isn't much with Apollo and Persephone interacting with each other, and I don't get the point of that. But okay, let's just continue. Now at the beginning, I was fine with the relationship sort of because it definitely felt a little different, but towards more recently, it feels more like, well, Daphne and Thanatos is basically Persephone and Hades 2.0. Like, no fucking lie there. It's literally that. There's some small key differences, but not enough to really say it's their own significant relationship. It's more like, oh, it's just 2.0 because of how they look identical to identical to, how Thanatos looks identical to Hades, and that's, for granted, yes, that makes sense considering that he was raised by Hades, so of course he might have inherited some, ways of dressing or whatever. Fine, whatever. And then there's Persephone and Daphne, who are both pink and they're both annoying. I'm sorry. They're, Daphne is a little better in some extent to realize what her partner is going through. I say to some extent here. That's the key word here. But she isn't that much better than Persephone when it comes to these situations. Now, one of the reasons why I'm pulling this out is because of how Daphne deals with Hades and Thanatos bickering, and she literally just decides to let him in despite 10 years of 10 years of not talking to Thanatos, and Thanatos still probably dealing with the trauma that Hades put him through with, you know, saying what he said. That can leave some permanent marks there. And she just welcomes him in despite Thanatos saying not wanting him inside. And she's just making sure, oh, but please come in with the intention of hearing and valuing Thanatos' feelings. And Hades is just like, he did betray me. And Thanatos is like, you banished me from the underworld. That Hades says, if you didn't want to get banished, you should have considered not committing acts of betrayal. And Daphne kind of just steps in, kind of like, okay, this is just an example. It's kind of like how when someone says, "Oh, girls, 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 you're both pretty." This is the tone I'm feeling from Daphne's interruption. She says this pointless bickering needs to stop. The two of you need to have a real conversation, which she isn't wrong there, but it kind of feels like she's trying to push towards them doing more than just like, anything else. And Thanatos says, Daphne, we're men. This is how we communicate. And yeah, that's a stupid remark, but eh. But basically, it kind of feels off to me that it feels more like Persephone and Hades 2.0 with Thanatos and Daphne's relationship. We aren't really shown too much of what happened after, after they reunite. And there really isn't that many myths of them getting together to begin with. Well, I don't think there's any, to be honest. That's just me. And Hades isn't really intending, like, he does talk to Thanatos. And I know this isn't about, like, basically about, like, Hades and Thanatos at all. That's a video for another time. But shouldn't Daphne have seen this coming? That Thanatos is like Hades just basically did all that talking about just like the quick reaction of changing his like mind and words and being like, would you happen to know where your brother is? And it's just like, then you see Daphne and Kate being like, oh, so what did you do during the Great Divide? I was possessed by a monster. You, I was a tree. Okay, grab your coat. We're heading back to the underworld. And there's not much establishment after that. So, yeah. But is their relationship that bad? Now, I don't think it's that bad considering that Daphne did help Thanatos get out of the relationship with Menthe and needed to see more of a different perspective and learn how to do things outside of his relationship just for him. I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna say that's the bad part about her, because that's one of her good elements in the relationship, and she's actually trying to get Thanatos to improve on himself, even though I kind of feel like it would have been a much better idea if they just stayed friends. Mainly because that's what Thanatos needs, because not a lot of people want to hang out with the god of the dead, you know? He just needs more friends in that kind of way. He just needs to focus on other people other than himself and other than his needs. I feel like Daphne does have great potential to do that. It's just that we haven't seen too much of that in this. Yes, I do know that sometimes you need someone to give you some tough love, and that maybe that moment between, Daphne interrupting and wanting them to talk is her moment of tough love. But I really don't think when it comes to these characters, like between these two characters, I don't really think their relationship is that eh important. I mean, it's an improvement over Hades and Persephone, and I know I'm being picky here, especially, but I'm like, wouldn't it have made sense to focus a little bit on, well, I don't know. I think feel like Rachel's just trying to avoid certain things, and it's just like his like his his lover is supposed to be Macaria Macaria. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, and she's the daughter of Hades. So, and she's supposed to represent a blessed death. So I don't really get why I don't get why this went on for so long to like avoid that. It I just don't. I know this is Rachel's story, but it's just like I feel like at least being accurate with everyone's partners and such would be a good deal. Not Thanatos being the son of like adoptive son of Hades. It doesn't really make sense to me, especially when he's supposed to be like Hades' daughter's lover in some of the myths. It doesn't add up to me. But Daphne is a good character to push him to think of outside himself. So I'm not gonna say she's a bad character because she's actually doing something more than what Persephone would be doing with Hades, and it's just like a slight upgrade from that. It makes more sense. Anywho's, I don't really mind their relationship. I hope there's some kind of more development there because there needs some more improvement from my own point of view. But yeah, it's not bad. Just not my cup of tea though. But I respect it enough to just hope that it improves over the next several episodes. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit of a different topic, and this is probably more shorter than intended to be. I didn't really know what to really discuss other than that one moment that kind of made me feel betrayed by Daphne for like Thanatos' sake. And I wish there was more development there to improve on Hades and Thanatos' relationship, other than, oh, Daphne pushed them to both talk and now they're kind of back on good terms, but not really. Anyways, guys, that's all I have on my mind right now, or had on my mind. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, and if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. I also have a coffee, so if you feel the need to donate, tip me, I won't mind. Go for it. You don't need to, but if you want to, go for it. Anyways, stay safe, stay cool, and stay hydrated. This is Dazzling Kate signing the hell out of here.